Hey everybody, this is Beast. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Scottyallenday. Could Seattle's homeless campfire been any worse? Why is everybody so quiet about this hazard? How come there's no solutions? Is this a warning that people don't see? What could have possibly happened? What could possibly happen? And how can we fix this? So that's my video today. I got my notes right here. And I wanted to talk a little bit about this homeless campfire. And it's just I would say, a massive problem waiting to happen. So this homeless campfire burned, they said, roughly about under a half an acre. Or a little bit more. Several trees, several tarps. And you could see from the road with the videos that was there with propane tanks blowing off into the air. I mean, massive fireballs going off from the propane tanks at the homeless camps. Now I could already vouch for the propane tanks because yeah, just about every homeless camp has propane tanks. And of course they gotta have heat and be able to eat, right? So now, right now in the middle of the summertime, it's very hot, it's very dry. There's very little moisture, and well, you know what? Things are bound to burn. Now, with the homeless camps that we've had around here, down here in Portland, a lot of people have been transported out by ambulance with, well, drug overdoses. So you have drug overdoses, and you have homeless camps. They're constantly burning firewood in the barrel. Just like you've seen in the cartoons. Yeah, they're burning firewood in the barrel 24/7. So, now we have all these dry conditions, and, well, now I'm thinking more about the homeless campfire that's in Seattle. It was burning not too far away from where there was a major hospital. Now, the fire didn't get anywhere close to the hospital, but it was within the vicinity of a major hospital. So, that poses a big question, but yet nobody's talking about it. Because nobody wants to point the fingers in the direction of everybody else that's vouching for all these homeless camps, that's trying to protect the homeless, and, well, guess what? We get a big fire. Now down here in Portland, and I know up there in Vancouver, and Chehalis, and Tacoma, and Olympia, and down in Eugene, you will see homeless camps embedded in all kinds of heavily wooded areas. So, got a lot of wood, got a lot of heat, got a lot of fuel, you got a lot of fire. Guess what? One tarp goes on fire. That's it. That's the end of the game. One tent goes on fire. That's it. That's the end of the game. I've seen tents go up in flames. I've seen tents go up in flames just recently. When I was in Boy Scouts, we had scenarios that we were showing at a fire and rescue site, where we actually loaded a tent up with all of our gear and put off one little tiny small butane stove, just to kind of stimulate, well, somebody wants to make cocoa in the middle of the night. So we did that. We had 2 or 3 different tents. We had one that was set up for a whole week, one that was set up for a weekend, and one that was set up for like an extended day for about 4 days. And then we had another one set up for a big kahuna, like for 2 weeks. So they had all this gear in, we had the food in, we had everything that everybody would possibly need just to, well, camp and live for those periods of time. So what we did was we fired up the butane stove, and we put a frying pan on it, and then we put in like 6 slabs of bacon. Now back in the 80s, bacon was really, really greasy. It gave off a lot of grease. And it would, and when you're having a butane stove, yeah, it gives off, I mean, you will eventually have a fire in that particular, I mean, in just like a little mess kit. And that was the scenario that we wanted to set up, and we talked to the fire department, and we did that for fire safety and for first aid and, you know, camp safety. I mean, it was a big event. We had 9 different troops, and we had one last demonstration site that we set up, and we did fundraisers for this. We had one last demonstration site set up, and had a big tarp, and it had 12 tents and firewood. We had everything. I mean, we had everything that we needed. Even the camping boxes, and we set it all up. And after we did the four tents, which, yeah, we saw them go up in the flames, we had the one guy in the middle, and we set that tent up, and we set it up with the same thing with the bacon, just to stimulate a camp going up. Well, that one went up, and that first tent broke out into flames, and a domino effect happened within a matter of 5 minutes. The entire camp was on fire. So we already knew this. I already knew this before, even when they said homeless campfire. I'm like, whoa, that was lucky. Some of these homeless camps have, you know, 20, 30, 40, 50 tents in them. Well, I know there was one that has 50. But yeah, like I said, 20, 40, 50 tents. And it's just amazing. If one goes up, that entire camp is going to go up. And with the amount of trash that's in those camps, you ain't going to get it out. The amount of trash and with the amount of busted up vehicles and all that that are in these camps, you can't get these out. And then you have homeless advocates that are trying to stop the sweeps. Stop making them move the camps so they can be able to clean the land. If they're successful at that, we're going to have all these fires everywhere. But we have, in several areas, they're in our forests that are close to residential areas. And if that goes up, we're going to have half of our hillsides going up in smoke. So we're going to go back through these questions again, and I'm just concerned about why nobody's saying anything about it. Why is there no solutions? I mean, there is a solution. More shelters, low-income housing. Build more low-income housing. That's the solution. Low-income housing. But the thing is, these homeless people have been living out there since 2020. I would say about 2019. They've all been out there. Even more in 2020. But 2018, 2019, all the way up until about now. So that's 4 years. We're hitting the 5-year mark. Once we hit that 5-year mark, I would say about half of them that don't want to go back into housing again will never go back into housing. So you've created a bigger problem because you can't rehabilitate them. They've created such a habit that, you know what? They're made for the outdoors. So now we have a problem that we can't fix. It's a warning. Now, what could possibly happen? We can have massive forest fires that are started by homeless camps. And that's my big concern is nobody's trying to do anything to be able to fix this. The only thing that they can be able to do right now to be able to fix it is to make campgrounds. Concrete campgrounds with no rules. The only way they're going to be able to do it. A concrete campground with no rules. They can go in there and they can shoot up and do whatever they want to in it, and then leave the tent all day. Never have to worry about cleaning up the trash, nothing. No bills, no nothing. And then they're going to have to hire sanitation workers to make sure that the campground's kept clean. Other than that, there's no solution. to dead end. Because nobody was able to get on the ball on this. Because the advocates and the and those that were lobbying senators to look away have all gotten where they wanted to go. Now, guess what? Nobody's trying to step up to the plate because nobody wants to start pointing fingers at anybody else. So there's the problem. Solution's very, very small, but you know what? I wanted to get it out there because, you know what? I'm a little bit enraged because it got this far. But I'm going to ask you guys, what do you guys think that's the solution? I know my friends up in New York, I already know that there's plenty of really good homeless shelters and many good programs that do help the homeless and do want to help the homeless that are in need. Same thing that's in Boston. They have some good, solid programs in place. So, what do you guys think? What works in you guys' cities? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss another video. Till next time, keep on walking.